Hey there, fellow Rebel scum. I'm Jacob with Channel Frederator. Today we'll be unveiling as many of Star Wars Rebels references to the Star Wars movies as we can cram into less than 12 parsecs. Yeah, I know, measure of distance, not time. Anyway, let's get started. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to become part of our notification squad. The Kessel Run. Speaking of parsecs, in the very first episode/TV film Star Wars Rebels Spark of the Rebellion, the planet Kessel actually makes its first appearance outside that one time Han Solo boasted that the Millennium Falcon made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs, subsequently launching 1,000 keyboard warriors. And actually, in A New Hope, C-3PO mentions that he and R2 could be sent to Kessel's spice mines if they're discovered, and, well, that would be the end of our favorite robot buddies. In Rebels, we finally get to see the planet itself. We also get to see what became of the Wookiees of Kashyyyk following Order 66. The Empire has taken Wookiee survivors to work in the spice mines. It's clear that Kessel is really a place to run from, not to. Loud noises. While we're still on the subject of Kessel, Rebels has an iconic moment in which Ezra dispatches a stormtrooper who lets out his trademark high-pitched yell as he falls to his demise. If you look back, this same sound has been used in every single Star Wars movie to date. It's called the Wilhelm Scream, and it's actually been in use since the early 50s. It was popularized by Star Wars and has appeared across pop culture in tons of places since. It's only right that Star Wars Rebels would continue the tradition. You just can't replicate it. It's so weird. Seeing green. In Rise of the Old Masters, Kanan utters a very familiar line, one that should be on motivational posters everywhere. Actually, it was on a motivational poster in my high school drama teacher's room. Do or do not. There is no try. This moment reveals the origin of his Jedi training, in the stylings of the one and only Master Yoda. If anything will get you teary. Fetty. But that's definitely not the only callback line in a universe full of callbacks. You know, I've got a bad feeling about this. So do we, guys. So do we. When Kanan is held capture and tortured by the Inquisitor, Tarkin calls him off with the classic, "The Jedi is no good to me dead." Where have we heard that before? Oh, that's right, from bounty hunting extraordinaire Boba Fett. Though the line is slightly different in The Empire Strikes Back. Family tradition. In the episode Droids in Distress, the Ghost Crew inadvertently, but helpfully, rescues C-3PO and R2-D2 and delivers them back to their rightful owner, Bail Organa. In the final few seconds of the episode, Senator Organa kneels down next to R2 and slips the droid a card disc. This scene directly mirrors the moment in A New Hope when Leia, the Senator's adopted daughter, kneels down in a very similar hallway to give R2 her hologram message for Obi-Wan Kenobi and the construction plans for the Death Star. Like father, like daughter. Both scenes bring R2 to the forefront, and it's understandable that R2 wins Most Useful Droid of the Year almost every year for the rest of eternity. Maybe next time, Chopper. Ghost of the Phantom Menace. Season 1's finale, Fire Across the Galaxy, comes to an intense climax as Kanan and Ezra take on the Inquisitor in a winner-take-all, knockdown, drag-out, duel of fates-esque 2-on-1. That's right, this fight is eerily similar to the epic, yes, you have to admit that it's epic even if Episode 1 is your least favorite duel between Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Darth Maul. The Inquisitor challenges the fledgling Jedi, revealing his awesome double-bladed lightsaber, and yeah, the Inquisitor's saber has a weird fidget spinner type upgrade compared to Maul's, but the concept of a Padawan and Master dueling a Sith Lord remains, and both Sith meet their ends careening over a ledge. Crossguard. In Twilight of the Apprentice, Season 2's finale, Ezra uncovers a green lightsaber at the Sith Temple on Malachor. When Ezra activates the blade, it's revealed to be a crossguard design with 2 power vents or keons emitting from the hilt. The color of the blade indicates that a Jedi carried and designed the blade, which raises interesting questions about the only other crossguard saber we've seen, the one that belongs to Kylo Ren. And since the episode aired right after The Force Awakens came out, it's a nice nod to the latest trilogy. Binary Sunset. Darth Maul finally meets his end at the hands of good old Ben Kenobi in Twin Suns in Season 3 of Rebels. Once again, the whole scene echoes The Phantom Menace, but this time as more of a parallel between Qui-Gon and Maul. The fight is brief, and Maul attempts the same hilt bump move that he used to throw Qui-Gon off balance, leaving Qui-Gon open for a finishing blow, but Kenobi's seen this before, and he ends it with a vertical blow that leaves Maul mortally wounded. Maul collapses into Kenobi's arms in a scene reminiscent of Kenobi holding his master in his final moments. And that last paragraph is like 6 times longer than the actual fight is. Maul's final words draw on Qui-Gon's final moments in The Phantom Menace. Qui-Gon says, quote, "He is the chosen one. He will bring balance." Of course, here Qui-Gon's talking about Anakin, but before Maul dies, he asks Kenobi, "Is he the chosen one? He will avenge us." But Maul isn't talking about Anakin. Before all the fighting, Maul taunted Kenobi about his presence on Tatooine, insinuating that he was there to protect someone, but who? At this point, it could be none other than Luke Skywalker. Maul's not talking about avenging the Sith either, he's talking about avenging all of those who have been wronged by Darth Sidious. Sure, that's not the way of the Jedi, but Maul dies at peace with his mortal enemy, and Kenobi is able to let go of his own hatred towards Maul. The scene binds the series to the silver screen and perfectly completes Maul's character arc. Principal Thrawn's office. Grand Admiral Thrawn's office is full of Easter eggs in Through Imperial Eyes, but the Holy Grail from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade isn't the only one hidden in plain sight. Look closely and you'll find a green clone trooper helmet. Look familiar? The helmet and head inside belong to Commander Gree, who met his maker when he attempted to execute Order 66 on Yoda. Very foolish he was. Now he is a master. In 0 Hour, Kanan and Ezra share a moment that is strikingly similar to the one that Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin shared before Obi-Wan leaves for Utapau. Both Kanan and Obi-Wan state that they've taught their Padawans all that they could possibly teach them, but the main difference lies in the Padawans themselves. Anakin is obviously ready to be out on his own and out of Obi-Wan's hair, but Ezra looks up to Kanan and wants to stay close to someone that he's seen as a parent for many years. The conversation, like Obi-Wan and Anakin's, may not bode well for the future of the bond between them, though the final outcome remains to be seen. Sand. Meme lovers rejoice. Rebels included a reference to one of the most recognizable Star Wars lines ever, uttered in Ghosts of Geonosis Part 2. The episode finds the Ghost crew dealing with Anakin Skywalker's mortal enemy, sand. Sabine references the infamous line, yelling, "Stupid sand, it gets everywhere." And yes, what was that line in Attack of the Clones? Say it with me now. I don't like sand. It's coarse. It's rough, it's irritating, and it gets everywhere. Edgelord Anakin lives in our hearts, and is immortalized in Star Wars Rebels. More ghosts. The paired Ghosts of Geonosis episodes also feature an appearance from Saw Gerrera, extremist rebel leader and protector and teacher to Jyn Erso. As the series has drawn closer to the same timeline as Rogue One and A New Hope, more characters have been brought in to smooth out the show's transition. Ghosts of Geonosis presents Gerrera as just as ruthless and cunning as he is in Rogue One. His backstory is partially explained in the episodes, as a Geonosian survivor called Click-Clack wipes out his team. But even Gerrera can let go of his hatred and appreciate Click-Clack's dedication to rebuilding the Geonosian species. Going rogue. Gerrera has since reappeared in this season's In the Name of the Rebellion, looking more like his Rogue One self and causing plenty of problems for the Rebel Alliance with his extremist ways. Gerrera and Mon Mothma duke it out over the right way to fight against the Empire, which explains why the extremists and the main faction of the Rebellion are so divided come Rogue One that Gerrera and his squadron are considered terrorists. In both the episode and Rogue One, they work to rescue scientists from the clutch of the Empire, although Erso and her crew were really after one specific scientist. In the Name of the Rebellion also features planetary holdfasts like Jedha, which gets completely blown to pieces in Rogue One, and Yavin 4, originally featured in A New Hope. Rogue One's fearsome Death Troopers also make an appearance in Season 3, though based on what we've seen so far for Season 4, they're promised to show up again. Project Stardust, aka the Death Star, is also brought up in a discussion between Grand Moff Tarkin and Thrawn, in which Tarkin essentially tells Thrawn whatever terrible idea he's come up with is gonna have to wait for the completion of Stardust. Once again, I'm Jacob, and thanks for watching Star Wars Rebels references to Star Wars movies. Did we miss any that should have made the list? How do you think the Rebels story will end? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video and want to see more of it, make sure to click subscribe so that you always know when we've got something new for you. And don't forget to click the bell icon to become part of our notification squad, because remember, Frederator loves you.